Dear audience, welcome to Group 30 presentation. Our topic is Autonomy of Crisis, Building Cyber Resilience from the WannaCry attack.
Hello everyone, we are Group 30 and today we will be presenting a post-incident security analysis of the WannaCry ransomware attack. In this presentation, we will discuss how the attack occurred, the assets and individuals affected, the security gaps that enabled it, and the key lessons for preventing similar incidents. My name is Malmi and I will be presenting the introduction, overview, and the mechanism of the attack. A ransomware is a self-replicating malware that encrypts data and demands payment, exploiting system and user vulnerabilities. It has become a major threat across critical industries. The WannaCry attack in May 2017 is a key example, rapidly infecting over 230,000 systems in 150 countries and causing widespread operational and financial disruption. Now let's examine the attack mechanism of WannaCry. WannaCry operated through each stage of the cybersecurity chain. First, attackers scan for unpatched SMB v1 systems, use the external blue exploit with the double parser backdoor to weaponize and deliver the ransomware, and spread through exposed SMB services or phishing. External blue enabled remote code execution, double parser installed the ransomware, and some variants communicated via Tor for command and control. The attack ultimately encrypted files, appended the .wcry extension, and displayed a ransom demand. I will now hand over to Sweta, who will discuss the impacted assets and the security goals compromised in the WannaCry attack. Thank you.
WannaCry was a ransomware attack that spread globally within hours, and the map on the slide shows just how widespread the impact was. One of the most heavily affected organizations was the NHS in England. Around a third of NHS trusts were disrupted. Some were completely locked out of their systems, while others shut down their networks to stop the malware from spreading. Because of this, staff had to switch back to manual processes, thousands of medical appointments were cancelled, and ambulances had to be rerouted. This created real risks for patient safety and resulted in an estimated £92 million in financial losses. WannaCry also affected major companies outside healthcare. For example, Renault and Nissan temporarily stopped production at several factories in different countries. Even if the systems weren't fully infected, shutting them down was the safest option to contain the attack. Another major consequence was data loss. Even when victims paid the ransom, the attackers struggled to link payments to specific machines. So many encrypted files could not be recovered and were lost permanently. When we look at how WannaCry affected security, we can use the three core cybersecurity goals: availability, integrity, and confidentiality. The biggest impact was availability. Because the ransomware encrypted systems and blocked access to files, hospitals couldn't access patient records and companies couldn't use their devices or production systems. This loss of access is what caused most of the operational disruption. Integrity was affected as well. Even though the malware didn't intentionally change data, the encrypted files became unstable and in many cases impossible to recover. This meant organizations couldn't rely on the accuracy or completeness of their data anymore. Finally, confidentiality had the smallest impact because the attackers weren't trying to steal information. But the fact that they gained unauthorized access still introduced a privacy risk. Overall, WannaCry shows how quickly a single vulnerability can disrupt essential services around the world and highlights the importance of strong patching and security practices.
Today I will explain why WannaCry ransom attack happened, how it spread, how it was found, and who was responsible for it. WannaCry happened because many companies did not install Microsoft Security Update and many were using old systems like Windows XP. Their networks were not separated properly, so once one computer got infected, it spread very fast. Second, weak backups. The attack became worse because many companies did not have proper official backups. When their files were locked, they had no safe copies to restore it, which caused long downtime. The main question, how it was detected. The attack was noticed quickly when computers worldwide showed locked screen and ransom messages. Researchers saw the same ransom note and Bitcoin address everywhere. Researchers Marcus Hutchin found a hidden kill switch and stopped it by activating it. Experts believe the Lazarus group linked to North Korea carried out the attack, and the UK and US confirmed this, although some experts still debate whether the group acted alone or under government orders.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I will speak about one of the most significant cybersecurity incidents in the modern world. That is the WannaCry ransomware attack occurred in May 2017. WannaCry rapidly spread across the globe, infecting over 20 million systems in more than 150 countries. It exploited a vulnerability in outdated versions of Windows using the Eternal Blue exploit, encrypting user data and demanding ransom in Bitcoin. The attack highlighted several security principles that were severely violated. First, the principle of patch, or principle of least privilege. It was ignored as many organizations, including the UK's National Health Service, had not applied a critical security patch released by Microsoft months earlier. Second, the least privilege. It was violated because accessing user permissions are allowed and to the malware to propagate more widely. Third, defense in depth. It was lagged. There was insufficient layers of security such as network segmentation and endpoint monitoring. Finally, the incident response principle. It was underdetermined due to the unpreparedness, poor communication plans, and slow detection. Last, user awareness and security training, phishing emails, and unsafe behaviors led to the initial infection. In response, organization implemented important mitigations. They applied urgent patches to close the SMB v1 vulnerability, disabled vulnerable services, and enhanced firewall rules. They improved backup strategies, included encrypted offline and immutable backups to ensure recovery without paying some ransom. Network segmentations and better logging was also introduced, and they were put in the place to limit the lateral movement in future incidents. Most importantly, organizations standardized their incident response plans, introducing faster escalation procedures and clear communication lines. The WannaCry incident also emphasizes the importance of penetration testing. Through penetration testing, security teams simulate real-world attacks to identify vulnerability before attackers exploit them. There are multiple types of penetration testing, including black box, where the testers knows nothing about the system, white box, where their full internal details are provided, and grey box, which offers partial info, much like real-world scenario. Typical penetration testing includes 5 stages: planning and reconsider, second scanning, third gaining access, fourth maintaining access, and last analysis. Finally, the WannaCry underscored how crucial cryptography is in cybersecurity. The ransomware used strong encryptions to lock victim files, demonstrating the power of cryptographic algo when misused. However, crypto is also what protects us. Encrypted backups, secure communication channels, digital signatures, and TLS certificates all helps to ensure data confidentiality, integrity, and authenticity. In modern security practice, effective cryptography combined with patching, monitoring, and testing is essential in preventing attacks like WannaCry. And here's the picture how crypto works. In conclusion, the WannaCry attack served as a global wake-up call. It showed the basic security principles: regular updates, strong crypto, and proactive testings were not optimal. They are essential for protecting our systems and societies from cyber threat.
Audience, remember 2017, the WannaCry attack showed the world how cyber attack could cripple real-world services like UK National Health Services. It was a painful wake-up call. When attack hit, our security teams jumped into action. First, we contained the threat by isolating infected computers to stop viruses from spreading. And second, we traced the attack back to its source. And third, we collaborated globally, which led to discovery of the famous kill switch that helped to stop the disaster. But the technology was only half the problem. The real weakness was human, and why? Because organizations were slow to apply security patches, leaders ignored the risk, and a single click on the bad email was all it takes to cause the chaos. WannaCry didn't exploit the software flaws, it exploited our own action. This brings up a few ethical questions. So the tool used to attack Eternal Blue was originally founded by NSA. It makes you ask, when the government finds a major security flaw, should it keep it as a weapon, or should it keep to get it fixed to protect us all? So the lesson from WannaCry is clear. We made updates for our system on time, strengthened our security policies, and raised awarenesses. Looking forward, we need to adapt zero trust mindset, meaning trust nothing by default, and using AI to build smarter, stronger defenses. Let's work together to build a cyberspace with no longer crisis. Thank you very much for listening.